it was still very surreal to me watching it, and I was like, Royal Rumble is really taking place in Saudi Arabia. Everything around it, the usual propaganda stuff that they were doing the week, wrestlers posting what they were doing, going to Six Flags and all this other stuff, and just that icky feeling of like paid propaganda that was around this show. I was just like, who? And we got WrestleMania next year to look forward to. It's going to be even more of this. It's just, yeah. But I thought that the stage itself looked great. The arena was a bit confusing because at least like the setup for the lights and the seats, it made the arena look more empty than it really was. Like the way everything
Yes.
was,
What was that?
like the way the arena was lit was interesting. And then, like we mentioned earlier, there was some like production gaps that I was kind of baffled by. But overall, I thought it was a decent show. I didn't think it was terrible. It like there were things I really liked about it, but there were also things I was just kind of befuddled by. But it started with the women's rumble. That was one of the big elephants in the room coming into this show because, of course, WWE has made strides with women's wrestling in Saudi Arabia since
Yes.
2019, since they started this big deal with Saudi Arabia. They've It's crazy to think about. They've been in this deal with Saudi Arabia for almost 10 years. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, they've made strides with them. They have, prominently featured women on the Saudi Arabia shows, but you're still going to get the optic of the women covered from head to toe. And if the women are doing that based on their own choice, that's different than you have to go in there and adhere to the regulations of the country and the social norms there. And it's hard to not think about that when you have 30 women coming out and full bodysuits. And for better or worse, that's going to make this one of the most memorable women's Royal Rumble matches because you're going to know where it took place. Um,
Never forget when you see the visuals of this, dog. Full 30 full body suits, Phil.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's just straight out the gate, starting with Alexa and Charlotte. I did not like the beginning of this match, guys.
Mm,
I thought it tried to be way too cutesy. I was
yep.
just like, I get it. They're in a tag team. You're trying to build this story of will they, won't they? Are their ambitions going to get in the way of them being a tag team? We know how Charlotte gives it up. Charlotte is a celebrated singles wrestler. When it comes down to it, is she going to turn on Alexa and try and get herself back into the title picture? The way that this was handled, though, them teasing, using each other's finish, and then going, nope, we're just gonna just hang out here and wait for the next entrant. I
Just
didn't like
kidding.
that. I didn't like that at all. I thought that it didn't really come off well, and I know that it played into the way Alexa eventually got eliminated later in the match. But I think to start the Rumble that way, I didn't really care for this.
It just continues on with this. Charlotte keeps telling the story that they were like they have to pair me with Alexa, just the way it has to go, and I just don't. It just doesn't feel right. Still, it's like Charlotte is latching or reaching for something that she should be reaching for something else, and that's what this felt like. Again, it's like, what is Charlotte doing, Phil? You know what I mean? Like, that's Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
She shouldn't be mixed up in these shenanigans, and it feels like she mixed up in some shenanigans.
Yeah. I thought the execution of this was just too cutesy, man. I think you
Mm-hmm.
could have done something more interesting with Charlotte and Alexa to
Yes.
start this Rumble. And it's not just that, but this is Charlotte and Alexa. These are two of the biggest stars you have in this division, and you can at least have them do like a competitive back and forth to start this match to at least heat up the crowd.
It's like 90
Uh,
seconds or something. Like, it ain't even a long time.
and it just wasn't the case. It just Yeah, I was not a big fan of starting the Rumble this way. Kiana James was out third. I thought Kiana looked impressive. If you'd have told me going into this Rumble that Kiana would have had a more impressive run in this Rumble than Julia, I'd have been like, "What?" But she did. I thought that she got to show off like her athleticism, what she can do here. She was in this Rumble for a long time too. I think she was. Well, let me double check. Yeah, she was in the Rumble for 27 minutes and 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, she was definitely cooking. There's some women that they don't get the same opportunity, so we don't get to see them work as much on television. But she took advantage of every single moment that she had. Phil, she looked really good in there. 27 minutes is a long ass time for this match.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Um, I believe Nia Jax was out next, and
Mm-hmm.
then Ivy Nile. Then Lola Vice came out sixth. Lola Vice is hilarious because she came out there covered from head to toe, and she was like, "Oh, don't get it confused. I'm still throwing ass. I don't know what y'all think this
Absolutely.
is. I'm still throwing ass, even in a full body suit." That was hilarious to me. It was very funny to see some of the women still trying to get their usual stuff off in a full body suit. Maxine Dupree is prime example of this, coming out in a full body suit and still having suspenders on there and going, "No, it's still straps down when it's
Mm-hmm.
time. I'm not pulling straps down to show y'all no skin, but straps are still coming down."
Mm-hmm. There was a couple of these suits where I was like, oh, they got around. They got their point across on what they were doing. They definitely it worked out. Stephanie Backer, that's for sure.
Yeah, I saw people talking about Stephanie Beck here, and like, how did this get approved? And I was like, what? She's wearing a full body suit. She can't help that.
What you
That's how
mean?
she looks in it. She didn't do anything wrong. Um, but yeah, one of the most impressive people in the women's rumble, not to any surprise, Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace scored like 3 eliminations in a row at one point. She looked really strong. I'm surprised that she didn't end up in the final four,
Mm-hmm.
at least with the storyline that they're currently pushing with her and Jade.
Yep.
But I did think that she looked strong here, eliminating Lola Vice and then eliminating Candice LeRae and Ivy Nile back to back to back. Um, I believe Jordan. Well, again, I don't have to guess. I can just I can just look, so I don't have to guess. But I believe Jordan had like among the most eliminations in a match with 3, and then Lash, of course, had 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Jordan looked great.
She has looked good. This whole run that she's been in she's looked great. Like again, I didn't understand why they sent her to NXT, but she developed enough over there for them to send her right to the main roster where she should have been the entire time. She gets it. She looks great. Her moves hit hard. Like everything about her presentation has been great. Super interesting to see what they've been doing with her and Jade. But like these Royal Rumble matches and showcases are built for people like Jordan Grace.
Yes, yes. They did the usual with Nia Jax, where Nia looks so dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to team up on her to try to get her out. That played into the Charlotte and Alexa stuff. Alexa was on Nia's back, and Charlotte was trying to help Alexa push her out. But on accident, Charlotte ended up eliminating both Nia and Alexa, and Charlotte's looking out outside going, "Oops, I didn't mean to do that." Oh, bro. When Charlotte was doing those promos, bro, that was Charlotte's hilarious, bro. One of the most
She's funny.
unintentionally funny wrestlers. um, but yeah, so that of course I'm sure is going to play into some more of these the tag team stuff with Alexa and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Again, wasn't the biggest fan of the way this was executed in this match, but it is what it is. Maxine Dupree got a nice reaction here that played into stuff with Becky Lynch, her ongoing feud with Becky Lynch. Becky and Natty. Natty showed up with new presentation, new music. She's officially Natty, not Natalia anymore. Which
She
I've said,
peed on the name Natalia. On the
bro, that graphic was crazy.
what was
That graphic was crazy. But yeah, Maxine Dupree got eliminated by Becky Lynch. I was surprised that they didn't just have Natty eliminate her because, of course, that would have played into the storyline from last week's episode of Raw. But
Mm.
instead, Becky eliminated Maxine, and then Natty eliminated Becky, which again, I the execution here with some of the ongoing story, like I think one of the biggest issues for me at the moment with WWE is not that they don't tell interesting stories. It's that they'll start something interesting and then they'll just drop it out of nowhere or they
Mhm.
end it in a very underwhelming way. And I'm not sure that they've done a great job of keeping people invested in this Maxine and Natty and Becky thing. I mean, it seems clear to me that Natty is eventually going to challenge for the IC championship with,
Mm-hmm.
well, with her name and like what the hearts mean to the IC title. It only feels right that she's gonna hold that title before she retires. But just the journey there, I wish they were handling it a bit better.
It seems like pretty easy and straightforward, but they're getting it pretty muddied up. I do like the new kind of focus on to Natty because I think she worked hard to get there and she's earning that spot. But they gotta tighten up with the presentation around kind of the whole feud.
Yeah. Speaking of Becky Lynch, I think one of the biggest surprises of this Rumble was that AJ Lee was not here. I thought coming into this that AJ Lee was definitely going to be in the Rumble. When you consider how big of a deal her return was last year, and then some of the other names that were in the mix in the Rumble, I thought that this was going to be kind of like the year, the spotlight, like the Divas era wrestlers, and it kind of wasn't.
Mm-mm. It seems like that was going to be an easy one. She's involved in storylines. Like she
Yeah,
has a bit to do here, even more than like Brie Bella. So it would make sense for her to go, and she didn't go.
yeah, was very surprised AJ Lee was not in this Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But never nonetheless, Lash Legend was really one of the
Lash.
highlights of this Rumble. I thought that she looked great. I thought that out of most of the women in this match and that came out with the bodysuits, her gear felt like it fit her. Like
Mm-hmm.
like you got so much of who she is as a character still out of her gear. It didn't look like, oh, okay, well, I have to put on this gear that covers from head to toe. So let me just throw anything on to adhere to the rules. No, she went out there and she looked great. And
Mm-hmm.
then she went out there and wrestled great as well, man. Like she
Yep.
was really getting big moments, eliminating Jordan Grace. I mean, when you look at all of the names that she eliminated, bro, like Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, she eliminated both of them. Eliminated Charlotte Flair,
Mm.
Io Sky, bro. Like that's huge. It's not just that she led the women in the most eliminations with 5. Just like I said, the names that she eliminated. That's pretty major.
Yeah, like Oba, who we're gonna get into later, his elimination list looks a little bit different than what Lash is. Lash got world champions on her eliminations,
Yeah.
and she looked good, man. Like she's starting to develop and really get it together. Her strikes, she be
Yeah.
knocking people out there. It looks good. Like I really enjoy the work she's been doing.
It's so funny. For black wrestlers, the flatliner is kind of like the move. You see a lot of black wrestlers who use. For the women, it feels like it's the big boot, and so
Pump kick every time. I was
big
gonna
pump kick.
say it.
But
Yeah.
bro, like her and Jade make that pump kick look so good, and there were a few times in this match where she made that pump kick look so emphatic. I think like when you think about what the Rumble is supposed to be, you go in there, get your stuff in, and
It's
try to
that. It's
cap.
a showcase. If you're not
Yeah,
gonna win.
yeah, try to capitalize on the moment. I think out of everybody in this match, Lash really capitalized on the moment. She was really the highlight of the women's Rumble.
That is so funny that you bring up the pump kick because that is so true. When I saw Brandy Rhodes do it, I was like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what
Yo,
this is. I said, okay, they must train it the first day. They're like, oh, black women's here, hit this pump kick because you're going to hit it. But yeah, no, Lash is fucking killing it, man. She looked great.
absolutely. Yeah, like we said earlier, Kiana James did look impressive in the time she was in there. Ended up getting eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez. Uh, Chelsea came out. Chelsea was another one that I thought you got who her character is in her gear. She
Mm-hmm.
came out with the big flowy skirt over her bodysuit before she got down to the ring. Um, we gotta figure out more stuff to do with Alba Fire, man. Like Alba came out and helped her a lot in this match, and that was great. But at the same time, I'm like, bro,
Hurt.
Alba can go though. Like, why y'all
Yeah.
not doing more with her? She's such a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we haven't gotten any updates on Piper And Piper was another one where Piper's so good, and I just don't want them to end up in the same situation with Alba, where Alba's just coming out as Chelsea's heater, and that's all we have for her because she's so good.
Yeah, no, they might could just like shuffle her back into the division and then just bring in some younger NXT women that need to be put onto the roster to help Chelsea. Like they could keep kind of cycling them out if that's the case. But I don't know. I hate the Chelsea stuff that came out too with them saying she's a good hand essentially when she could be so much more. And you see in matches like this how important she could be to the division, Phil.
Yeah, yeah, I thought all of her stuff in this match was fun. The
Mm-hmm.
spot where she almost got eliminated and Alba helped her get back in the ring. All very funny stuff. Her interactions with Rhea were funny. Rhea ended up eliminating her. Roxanne Perez, I've said over and over
Roxanne.
again, this is going to be her division at some point. Every time she's in these big matches with the other big names, she shows out. I don't think she had nearly as strong of a showing as she's had in Rumbles before, but she still looked impressive here. I was surprised when she was coming out and they were saying she's been in 4 Royal Rumbles. And I was like, really?
Damn. Time is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it doesn't seem like it, but yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Rhea Ripley, I believe, ended up eliminating her. Uh, Julia was kind of here and gone. I did like the interactions between Julia, Asuka, and Io Sky. I wish there was more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was fun for what it was. The Asuka stuff with Io is still good. I just wonder what is the end goal with it. It's prime example of what I was saying earlier of they'll start something interesting and then it'll just drop off. It doesn't really get to the climax that you're hoping. But Kyrie trying to help Asuka and inadvertently eliminating Asuka, and Asuka had that look on her face afterwards, like it definitely felt like you fucked up, right?
Exactly.
And then poor Kyrie gets eliminated right afterwards, and the camera moved before we could see Asuka dragging her off, and I was just like, poor Kyrie. I
Mm-hmm.
hate that for you, but that was a fun aspect to add to this match. I just again, I wish we had a more definitive direction for where we're going with the Asuka and Io stuff. Other than the tag title stuff, I'm just kind of like, man, Io was really you guys' MVP last year, and we know how Asuka can give it up. That could be a big singles match for you guys, and it doesn't feel like that's where we're heading. It feels like, if anything, it's just going to be more tag team stuff.
It's Io and Rhea are confusing to me because like
Very.
they're Io and Rhea Ripley, you guys. Like there's been some talk and things recently about AEW and how they're presenting Tony Storm. I'm like, you could have the same conversation about WWE and Rhea Ripley because like Rhea Ripley should be the biggest star in the company, and you guys are not capitalized. She shouldn't just be another woman in this Royal Rumble. Feel like she's a huge deal. Like she should be main eventing WrestleMania and shit. Like I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, that's my same thoughts with Rhea. I actually think some of the stuff that people say about Tony Storm, I actually think it's worse with Rhea because
It
I
is.
feel like Rhea, out of any of the women currently, could main event WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel like coming away from this match, they have any plans to headline WrestleMania with her or put her in even a high profile match. Like, I don't even know what the
Right.
direction is for her at WrestleMania at this point.
And like what, dude? Like you said, she could main event the show, and people it wouldn't be this shocking thing. We'd be like, yeah, like she could get heated up that quickly, and it's not looking. It didn't look that way off of what this Royal Rumble match presented.
Absolutely not. Rhea came in at 22, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, even when she came in, I didn't come away feeling like, oh, Rhea can win this match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, she did. She's still in the mix with the Judgment Day. She did eliminate Raquel, um, which that's neither here nor there as well. I think that they're kind of trying to tell this story with Rhea and Io where eventually it's going to get back to Rhea's never beat EO in a singles match. But I don't know why that's not being pushed to the forefront. They're still doing this. Oh, well, they're friends. They hug each other a lot, and I just wish that, like I said, they played up some of the stuff from last year in their singles matches better, and we haven't really got there yet.
They hug each other a lot. Got me because that really feels like what it's
Yeah,
based off.
yeah. It's just which is it's whatever, but yeah. Lyra and Bailey also in the mix. They did
Mhm.
do quite a few things here to promote tag team wrestling. I think that was the best thing about Brie Bella joining the fray as a surprise entrant is that okay, you can get Nikki and Brie in the tag division if any two wrestlers in the history of this company made sense as a tag team. And you thought years ago, okay, why doesn't this company have women's tag titles? Because these two women would do very well with them. It's
Yes.
Nikki and Brie Bella. So just the idea of them in the tag division, and I think that has low key been one of the highlights of the year for WWE and what they've done with women's tag team wrestling. Um, that's a good thing coming out of this. I thought that was a good thing coming out of Survivor Series as well. That you had so many ready-made feuds for the tag team division, but you just gotta get to it, man. You just gotta execute it well. That's all.
Yeah, no, I already see the vision. I know that they're gonna have those women's tag team champions on that podcast that they have. I could just see the vision already. The two of them sitting talking about it. It's all there.
Yes, we had some of the NXT girlies in the mix. Kalani Jordan was excited to see her here. She got to do one of her big high spots in here. So Ruka, man, So Ruka was fantastic, man. She got all the way to the final four. I thought the Soul Snatcher she did in ring off of the second rope was fire. I thought the stuff on the apron towards the end of the match was really good as well. This is now like really two showings on the main roster where it's like, oh, so Ruka's gonna be all right when she finally comes up because I thought she looked good in the match with Bailey on Saturday Night Main Event as well. And
Yep.
this was another one where I was just like, yeah, man, they might need to fast track her.
There was a couple of moments in the women's match where I was like, okay, the women's division is in pretty good hands moving forward. Like some of the execution of like you're talking about the stories wasn't the best, but like this roster and what it can develop into, I think is pretty strong. Like Jordan and Lash and Roxanne and you know what I mean? Like they have some Rhea and some people that are gonna lead this into the next generation. So at moments I felt really good about this Royal Rumble match. Other circumstances didn't make me feel good about it, but there's a lot of good that was in this.
Yeah, JC Jane, I thought looked
JC
good in the
Jane.
spots that she was in.
Mm-hmm.
She looked impressive. Uh, One of the big stories here is So Ruka was the one to eliminate JC Jane. You got to assume that's going to play into the NXT Women's title picture eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, Lash Legend went on a streak at one point, eliminating people left and right. Nikki Bella and Brie Bella at the same time. Uh, Io Sky. I was kind of surprised with how uneventful it was when Io got eliminated. Io was another one. I thought her gear was fantastic as well. Um, yeah, but I thought like, yeah, Io's out. That's how we're putting Io out. Mm, I don't know. Wasn't the biggest fan of it, but when we got down to the final four, it was very clear to me that Liv was winning. Liv
Yeah.
was my pick to win from the beginning anyway. And I thought at least the way that the action was booked, the sequence for the final four was really good. The stuff on the apron I thought was good. I actually enjoyed the final stretch of the women's rumble more than the men's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that earlier this week I saw Liv said that she's been in every Royal Rumble and the way that she was kind of teeing it up, it felt like this was the moment for her. And I think that her fans have been wanting a situation like this to go down and kind of what this is like the opposite of what Roman is saying for the women. Like the women are like, we're going with the young, we're going with new, we're trying something else. Like this feels like they're trying something and moving with people who should have these opportunities. So like a win like this feels good. It's not like the same old shit.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton was entrant number 30. I kind of felt bad for Tiffany with the run she had as champion last year.
Tiff.
Um, it didn't feel like this got the reaction that people should have given for as long as she was on top last year. I think the crowd reacted well for her, but at the same time, we're talking about entrant number 30. And number 30 is usually supposed to be like, oh, this person is in here now. Like when you think of the first women's rumble, and that was the spot where Trish came in. Um,
Mm,
I think people were waiting for something for 30, and then it was just Tiffany. It was like, oh, okay.
Tiffany.
But then again, I think this was the same thing kind of as last year, where Nikki was number 30, and people were expecting Becky. And
Mm.
I think because some people were expecting AJ or another big surprise, Saraya had been doing the training
Oh
videos,
yeah.
and so people might have thought, okay, maybe Paige is going to be at 30, and then it ended up being Tiffany. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, um, and then it didn't even feel like this. There was anything really big for Tiffany in this match. It just felt like, oh, we need somebody for the 30 spot. Tiffany's been out of the mix because she's been injured. Let's throw her in here. But with that said, like I said, I did think the final stretch of the match was good. The final stretch was better than the match on the whole for me.
Hmm.
And I think that at least made it worth it. I think the stuff on the apron made Sol Ruka look really good. Uh, I thought that Liv looked impressive. I liked the story of Liv Morgan that being a runner up 2 years in a row, finally getting her win. This did feel like Liv Morgan's year. I'm not the biggest Liv Morgan fan, but I
Yeah.
can't appreciate that story and the fact that people have been on board for the Liv train. People have been wanting Liv to win for 3 years in a row, and it felt like she was undeniable this year.
Yeah, I'm not the hugest, like probably who I wasn't going for going into this, but I totally understand why they made this move and what she represents for this company. Like the spirit of having a women's Royal Rumble match, she was part of the reason why they started this, and all these things kind of connected to it. And to get a big win like that, I think it means a lot. Saudi, I noticed, Phil, throughout this show that it's not just Saudi. WWE has conditioned their fans to like entrances more than they like
Hmm.
wrestling matches. They don't care about wrestling; they care about entrances. And like, okay, I'm with you. That's fun.
Yeah. I do think like I said, the best thing about this was Lash Legend. You could see that the crowd was getting more and more mad every time she would eliminate somebody, which you're supposed to because she's a
Heat.
heel. She was getting some great heat eliminating a lot of people's favorites. So by the time she did get eliminated, it ended up being a big pop. That worked well. And then, like I said, she really capitalized on the moment. Um, yeah, not my favorite women's rumble, but I think at least the final stretch of it made it worth it.
At least that works out.
I don't know where we go with Liv. Like, what's going to be? I know we're trying to build the idea because one of the stories here is that Liv eliminated Raquel. Raquel has a match coming up with Stephanie Becker for the WWE Women's World Championship, and so we're trying to build this idea that it could be Liv versus Raquel at WrestleMania. That doesn't really feel like a WrestleMania worthy match to me.
Mm-mm.
Um, but you've got to eventually move Liv on from Judgment Day. I've felt that way for a while. Um, but I just don't know what the big match is. Is it Liv, Stephanie Becker? Is it Liv moving to SmackDown and taking on Jade? I don't know.
They do have that history a little bit, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they might get the belt off Jade before WrestleMania. Because, like, what are
Really?
they doing? What are they doing here? What's going on here?
Yeah, but see, that's why. Of course, the other elephant in the room here is, man, Bianca Belair. I'm so surprised she's not back yet. Bianca has been gone
What?
since WrestleMania. I just cannot believe she isn't here. I just knew she was going to be a surprise entrant,
I thought so too.
and when she wasn't, I was kind of like, oh, and that's another person that people might have expected at 30, and we got Tiffany Stratton. But yeah, this finger injury has been a real nuisance, huh?
Shit. Since WrestleMania, dude, we're going on a full year here at this point, you guys, of like not knowing anything either. Feel like there's no
Yeah,
updates. Like it just feels like we're in the dark about this.
yeah. But I bring up Bianca because if Jade's gonna hold the belt until WrestleMania, that's got to be the big match. I would
Mm-hmm.
assume that Bianca's coming back for the Jade match, and
Mm-hmm.
if she's not, then what is Jade doing at WrestleMania?
I honestly just hope that Bianca's okay. I think at the end of this, because
Yeah,
like it's a long time to be out. Like injuries are crazy. Like I know about mental health of wrestlers and being out. So like I just hope she's all good off this.
yeah. We haven't seen Street Profits either. That's really baffling to me as well. But
Strange.
yeah, man, Bianca Belair was definitely missed in this match. I was hoping to see her here. I'm still hoping that she comes back by WrestleMania. I just can't imagine getting to WrestleMania this year and she's not in the mix, especially with Jade on top, because that is the big match that they've been planting the seeds with since Jade has come to this company. They did that stare down in the Rumble, and so I had hoped we would get to it at this point. I don't know. And if, like I said, if it's not Bianca, I don't know who Jade's WrestleMania opponent's going to be.
Hmm. They got to figure it out very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got Elimination Chamber coming up. There's a lot of development in that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Bianca has won 2 Elimination Chamber matches, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's where you bring her back. I don't know, but yeah, yeah, yeah. There weren't as many production gaps in the women's rumble. I will at least say that. I felt like there was more of that in the men's rumble. Um, but yeah, I don't know. How did you feel about the women's rumble overall?
I liked it better than the men's rumble. It's starting to be a pattern of
Yeah.
anytime they have double men's and women's matches, like the women's match just hits harder. They take a little bit. The creativity is always better in the women's match. Men's match are just like tropes, things that we done before, things that we done before. And women's at least feels a more inspired. Like I said, I love the fields and a lot of the women that were in this. I think the way it moved and the way that they showcased was just way better than the men's match.
Yeah, I agree. Um, and the women, they had a lot of pressure. I feel like the women are always counted out. They had pressure coming into this because, like I said, the elephant in the room. How are the women going to perform in this arena in Saudi Arabia? Having to adhere to the wardrobe requirements in this, and I think some of the women really rose to the occasion. Their characters still shined out regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Matt, this is such a talented division. I just wish that all of the women got their fair share sometimes when it comes to screen time and like
Absolutely.
stories moving forward, because you've got so many talented women, and there were so many women that I think didn't really get didn't get a spot in this match or didn't get the time I expected them to. Like Julia's a big one. I'm like, Julia was in this match and I don't think she had a memorable moment in this match other than the stuff with
Mm-hmm.
her, Io, and Asuka.
Yeah, now there's some moments in here where it's like they could have been stretched out a little bit more. It could have been a little bit extra added on to these stories. I think this was the biggest. I mean, there's a lot of indictments to being in Saudi, but like this is why you shouldn't have the Royal Rumble in Saudi. 30 women having to compromise. Like this should show them what the future is, because that's crazy.
I mean, they'll clearly be back. So
Royal
yeah.
Rumble is gonna. I mean, WrestleMania next year is gonna be interesting. I'll say that.
Yes. Up next, we had Gunther versus AJ Styles. Um, AJ has had an interesting year already coming into this year. At the last minute, they added AJ versus Nakamura, the Saturday night main event last week, which we didn't get a chance to talk about because that was last Saturday night. Really, really good match. We already know AJ and Nakamura's history together. That played into this match. I thought it was a strong match for Nakamura. One of those matches for AJ. If this is going to be a fair world tour, of course we got to get one last Nakamura match, and it delivered.
I have been confused about this whole thing for a while, Phil. When AJ started setting up, I could potentially retire. I was like, there's no way. Like, I felt like if AJ was going to be done with WWE, he was going to be done with wrestling. So I was like, I don't think this is time. Like, there's no way they would do it in this way. Then they set up that match with Nakamura, and they were doing like
Mm-hmm.
callback spots and tribute spots, and like,
Yeah.
this is a final type match, Phil. And I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
There was definitely finality to the match, and
Yeah.
I was like, AJ's really wrapping up his career. It's
Mm-hmm.
wild to think about, and we already knew that coming into the year. AJ had already announced that last year, and
Right.
then he got the Punk match on Monday, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's really wrapping it up. Because this is one of those matches where I did not think we would see this match again. I didn't think we would ever see this match, especially on a WWE show. Um, and then the match was pretty good. I mean, say what you will about like the world title stuff as well. I think that Punk has been a good fighting champion for the last 3 weeks at the very least. I think the matches he's been having with Finn and then the Braun Breaker match and then the AJ match on Monday, those have been solid matches. I wish we had just gotten a definitive ending to the match on Monday, but you know, you can't always get what you want. But just the fact that they knocked those two matches out straight away, I was like, okay, that kind of feels like AJ is like went in there and was like, they were like, okay, what do you want to do with your farewell
Mm-hmm.
tour? And he's just like, I want this match and this match, and that's kind of it. And so when we got those two matches right before Royal Rumble, I was like, that's
Ah.
interesting. He might be really done because why would they knock those matches out so quickly? And then, of course, we got the Nakamura IG story.
Ugh.
Um, Nakamura is hilarious for multiple reasons here. First of all, Nakamura saying all this stuff like how much he inspired him to come to America. He was so influential in his WWE run, how he's an inspiration to him, an outstanding wrestler. But then he's like, but his clothes are terrible. Hilarious. Hilarious, bro. Saying all of that, like, hey man, this guy is one of the best to ever do it. A legitimate friend and inspiration to me. He ain't got no drip though. Hilarious.
Knock was like, I like it, 5-star matches. This guy's goat. Like, he did it, but them clothes are just not for me. Like, that's the way to really do a farewell thing. And I was like, well, damn, what's Knox saying though, Phil? That's kind of what we were all thinking. We're like, damn, this is like all this news, all this AJ stuff just kept piling on. We're like, wait, these matches. The thing that was getting me about the two matches before Royal Rumble, Phil, is it didn't look like a guy that was about to retire though. Like
No,
AJ Styles
he
is
still got
working
it.
like, yeah, he working like he's still going. I'm like, okay, it seems like they're moving towards him retiring, but it doesn't look like he's retiring.
No. Uh, but yeah, then the second thing, of course, about the Nakamura IG story is he basically spoiled that AJ Styles was going to
Mm-hmm.
retire at Royal Rumble because he says, yeah, I asked him, when are you going to be done? He said, Royal Rumble, I've already decided, which is hilarious that he would just he would just post this and not care. And of course, this said IG post is gone now, but I was like,
Yeah.
is he
Mm-hmm.
really gonna retire there? Because immediately I thought, would they do AJ Styles' big retirement match in Saudi Arabia? You're not gonna do his retirement match in the US. You're gonna do it immediately to start the year. Heading into February, you're already gonna end his in ring career.
Like
And
before WrestleMania, that seemed crazy to me,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, especially following 2025 and the entire year was built around John Cena's farewell tour. And then, like you said, he had two matches straight away in January where it's like, oh, he's trying to let you guys know I still got it. This is a celebration of my career. Would they really just end this before February? Turns out the answer is yes. And I was like, wait, like I like gasped at the end of the match. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
that's really it. Man, we gotta give it up to Gunther, bro.
Yes.
Gunther is incredible, bro. Great promo, great character. Fantastic heel at the moment. The way he keeps taunting people, the way he taunts the crowd, the way he talks shit to the fans, it is fantastic. The guy is hilarious. The little evil snicker he does at people after he says something hilarious. That smirk he has when he's getting his shit off, really funny. And one of the best in-ring performers they got over there,
Yes.
bar none. He's
Mhm.
one of the top
Mhm.
wrestlers in that company. This match was, I thought, one of the best matches on this show. Him and AJ were giving it up. I mean, we already know AJ is one of the best in-ring performers to ever do it, but man, him and Gunther tore it up.
Gunther becoming the legend killing heel or the everybody killing heel has been great. Like I think his main events feel like hard. They feel real sometimes. It feels like Gunther's really beating people's ass when he starts chopping and he starts his domination. It feels like something. But again, like I talked about, Phil, with these previous two matches, AJ Styles didn't look like a fool that's about to retire. This fool was
No.
going 1,000 miles per hour. This guy was still working like it's 20 years ago, going all at Gunther, giving him all the greatest hits. Like it just felt like when it was happening, I'm like, this is happening. I don't want this to happen. Like, what the hell's going on? Because again, in my brain, coming into this, I'm like, if AJ Styles retires, he's finished. That was what happened
Yeah.
before that Nakamura match. A lot has changed since that Nakamura match. And last night watching this, I was like, AJ Styles is
Yeah.
not finished, you guys.
He looked great. He gave us all the stuff. Still doing springboard for 50s at
What?
almost 50 years old. Um, bro, the phenomenal forearm still looks incredible. Like the pose he does in midair still hits. It still looks like the Jordan logo. Like he's still the guy. Like he looked fantastic. The stuff outside the ring he was doing, the chops he was taking towards the end of this
Mm-hmm.
match. Um, Gunther was trying to chop this man's soul out at one point, and
Yes.
I was just like, "Oh my god, oh my god, is he all right?" Which is one of the things I really love about Gunther. That Gunther is very much a straightforward heel. He just tells you what he's gonna do, then just goes out there,
He does
doesn't
it.
do any flashy stuff, out wrestles you, beats you with the most simplistic moves there is: chops, power bombs,
Drop
sleeper
kick.
holds, and this was really good. I thought the drama throughout the match, the tension throughout it was really good. The closing stretch of it, and Gunther getting the win, and once again just kind of looking at everybody like, "Oh, y'all didn't think that was gonna happen. Y'all thought this was gonna be different." The promo he cut during the week as well of him saying, "Look, all of these guys keep trying to get their moments. All get these old guys up out of here. They think that they're gonna live in these moments, and I'm trying to shut the door on all of these guys. I'm trying to let y'all go. It's over. Accept it's over when it's time." All of this, you want to stay here and get your flowers and celebration. No, I'm trying to play spoilers for everybody. I got
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg up out of here. I got the guy that everybody said never gives up to give up, and I got AJ Styles out of here before he could even get into his farewell tour. What a guy!
Every time he would laugh at AJ Styles throughout the build, and just that one when he drove off, and like there's so many different moments where it's like it's like Gunther is such a like he talks shit to everybody, and then he really beats their ass in the match. Like that's what a heel should be, because you want this unstoppable guy that eventually somebody stops. But the way that he's beating these legends right now, I think it's tremendous work for him, and it's really developing him into the biggest heel in WWE.
Yeah, really great stuff. The near falls in this match were great. The big power bomb, Gunther hit, and AJ kicked out at the last minute. Um, yeah, this was my favorite match on the show, and I, of course, not shocked with the two guys that are in it, but this was really good.
AJ Styles lost, Phil. Still, I'm still like, what though? You know what I mean? Like Gunther doing exactly what he said he was gonna do, beating AJ Styles in Saudi at the Royal Rumble. I mean, at points I was like, okay, he debuted 10 years ago in the 2016 Royal Rumble, 2026 Royal Rumble 10 years later. That's kind of a fitting in, but like where it is, what's going down, the climate right now, it still felt like what? It's kind of crazy. It felt sudden. Like there's so many things that are kind of added on to it.
Yeah, I think it feels apropos in a lot of ways. With like you said, this is where AJ debuted with WWE in the Rumble. He, of course, had one of the best matches of his career at Royal Rumble with John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a lot of sense that he would end his career here. I just didn't think that he would be done this fast. But that gets us to our topic coming out of this because a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's done." I don't think he's done, guys. With the way he wrestled in the last 3 matches with WWE, I think he's just getting started. I think he is going to wrestle somewhere else in 2026. Um, I think that he wrapped up the WWE stuff as quickly as he did because he plans to go somewhere else to wrestle. I've seen people say this means he can have one last run with TNA. I think that makes sense for him in his career. But then when you also look at the roster over there, I'm not trying to see that. Let me find it so that I can properly say this before I tell you guys what I clearly want to see. Um, what is your percentage on AJ Styles going to AEW/New Japan? At this moment, it's 90%. I think this guy is gone. I think he's heading to AEW. The big matches are there. I mean, as soon as this match was over and the gears started turning in my head, I was like, Osprey, give me this Osprey match. Enough.
Son of
Look, I
AJ
know I've
Styles.
seen it. I've seen people do this. Oh, he's done. He's not going anywhere. I've sat in multiple crowds from 2024 to 2025 watching Will Ospreay have the best match on the show I was at. And multiple times this was happening. This guy would set it up and the entire crowd would scream in unison Styles Clash when he was doing it. Hey man,
Mm.
there is no way AJ Styles can retire before we get this match. I don't care how we get here. I don't care if I have to sell my soul. Give me this match.
The revelation I had that I think it was a watch along with Denise. The revelation I had after I'd already been watching Will Ospreay for 15 years, and then he hit a phenomenal forearm, and I was like,
bro,
"Wait, he does a
bro.
bunch of AJ Styles." I was like,
He
"Wait,
does.
Ospreay is AJ Styles' kid." Like that revelation that I
Bro.
had, I was like, "Wait, what's going on here?" It's so funny. But now, Phil, we have that opportunity. Like the way that he was working, the way that it was going, AJ Styles. I feel like the TNA, though it ended with TNA, he didn't like the way it ended with TNA. And I don't know why people think that relationship was mended because he made a few appearances. I don't think that's going to happen. But
No.
New Japan, All Elite Wrestling, the
Bro.
Bucks, all those things connected to what AJ Styles is, Bullet Club, come on.
Bro. We're at the 2 year mark of when the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega kicked AJ Styles out of the Bullet Club at New Year Dash and push Bullet Club into the next stratosphere and what that turned into for the Elite. And then the Elite, of course, came to the US and started All Elite Wrestling. Buddy, Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles is right there. And if you're telling me we can get that before this man never wrestles again, why wouldn't you do that?
Okada works for AEW, run it back. Like, come on, man.
Fam.
There's too many great
There's
matches
there's
just
too
laying
many
there.
of those. There's too many guys that he hasn't been in the ring with. Other guys that have ties to Bullet Club. Jay White. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what Jay White's status is, but bro, right there, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, there's Swerve.
Swerve.
There's so many matches I want to
Hangman.
see. Hangman, Bandito. Like, there's so
Darby
many
Allin. Like,
matches.
you can go through
Bro, Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher. You could go
Takeshita.
on and on and on. There's so many matches I want to see. And y'all are talking to me about one last TNA run. Hey man, I feel you. The lore is there, the history is there. But bro, the matches that this guy can have before we're talking about one of the greatest in-ring performers that has ever stepped in the square circle, finishing up his career.
Oh,
Give me the matches, dog. I don't care about none of that.
this company, I say this about guys. This is another guy that this company was built on, the foundation that he fucking laid. Like this company exists because of the work that AJ Styles fucking did. And him being here would be very fitting. There's a million people who want matches with them. This just feels like it. Now, I do have a question, Philip Lindsay. There is an elephant in the room here. Couple weeks ago, the Rascals were supposed to come in as a 4-pack, and it came out that Trey Miguel had some previous information tweets that didn't line up with things. Do videos count in this? Because there is a very famous AJ Styles video that we all know. And if this is about representation and people, what? The gay community is going to have something to say about this. Am I right?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I did see a tweet after Royal Rumble where I saw someone say the gay community has forgiven AJ Styles,
Oh, okay.
and he still has a very big fan base over there, whether he knows it or not. I don't think that's going to factor in here because the unfortunate thing here is, I think Trey had some tweets. I still think that it's unfair to hold him to one tweet where he apologized, and I don't think that speaks to who he is as a person. Um, I'm not even sure if this audio clip speaks to who AJ Styles is as a person. But here's the problem here. If Warner Brothers is like, hey, nah, it's a no on Trey Miguel. Okay, I do business with you. I'm not going to necessarily fight you. AJ Styles ain't Trey Miguel's, guys.
It's not the same. It is not the same.
There are levels to this. If Warner Brothers came in and it was like, we don't want AJ Styles here. No, we're putting up a fight because this is AJ Styles. Like it's just different, bro.
Yeah,
and I hate to say it like that.
When they told TK about Trey Miguel, he was like, "Damn, that sucks. An unfortunate one." They tell TK he can't book AJ Styles. He's gonna fight. Everyone's gonna be fighting.
And Warner Brothers is going to look at AJ Styles different. AJ Styles is a bigger star than Trey Miguel. Again, I hate saying it that way because that shouldn't be the case. But when we're talking about needle movers and we're talking about a guy that, again, can come in here and have like big, like fantastic matches with so many people on your roster that's going to draw people in. This is AJ Styles, dog. Like it's just not the same. And I know people are gonna do that right after the Trey Miguel situation. And again, I don't think it's right, but this is AJ Styles, though, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think you can.
I
don't think you can compare the two.
Just got retired on a big WWE show, one of their tentpole shows. Left his gloves in the middle of the ring. Like AJ Styles, his career, what he represents, it's gonna be different. But I just know that people are gonna bring that up, you know.
Yeah, it feels like remember when Kanye did that whole hype thing for Push when his solo album was coming out. He had the instrumental playing, and he kept going, "This is motherfucking Pusha T." That's how I feel at this moment. I feel like Tony Khan is gonna come in there and like sit at a desk with people, and they're like, maybe not AJ Styles. And he's gonna be like, "Nah, this is motherfucking AJ Styles." Like, what are you talking about?
And he's gonna be right, dog. Like AJ Styles is another. Like that's again, not fuck the needles, fuck all that moving stuff. AJ Styles moves some shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like no. You've got a chance to give us an Osprey match with AJ Styles this year. You got a chance to everything I said about Kenny Omega earlier in this show and how their product is better with Kenny Omega in the mix. Their product is better with Kenny Omega in the title picture. You've got a chance to do an AJ Kenny Omega match in 2026. No, you move mountains to make that happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you do.
You got to do it. It doesn't matter. I forgot about Max. Max too. There's so many fucking matches, you guys. AJ Bro. Is just it's just too many. You got to do what it is. Man. Send him the bag. All the shit.
Hey, I know he was doing commentary for a while. I thought it even during the Women's Rumble when Brie was doing the yes chance. I was like, hey man, if he want to come back and get one last AJ Styles match, I wouldn't be opposed.
Let me tell you about something I will not be mad at. 0%. If somebody get the itch sitting at that commentary table because AJ Styles is in the ring and he say, I want to get in there, let him.
Yeah. But at this point, I'm close to foaming at the mouth because I feel like this guy is going to be at AEW. And I know some people are going to be mad because they're doing the tribalist thing and it's like not my company that I want to watch. But again, these are matches that we could possibly never see again. And you've got a chance to do them.
But Phil, 100% Peter Rosenberg told me that AJ Styles told him that this is
Hey,
it. He will not go against his word, Phil. This is it. He wouldn't do that.
dog. That I remember them saying the same thing with Mox. Oh well, Mox said he's done.
Mm-hmm. Here, I'm done here.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There has been no official reports. There's been nothing
Nothing.
to say that that could possibly happen. But there's too many dots, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we already know AJ is really good friends with the Bucks. He's got too many friends in this company, man.
The
It's too many
trademark
dots.
the trademark thing that we saw this week of him registering, phenomenal one. Even how he left his stuff in the ring, Phil, it felt a little bit like, here's my WWE things, you guys. I'm going to find my other AJ Styles stuff. Like, it didn't even feel like that was the final thing on his career, you know?
Yeah. But there's been no reports, but I continue to say my at this point my percentage is at 90. The fact that right after this was over, there were so many AEW wrestlers that were tweeting like phenomenal or teasing things. One of them was Will Ospreay. Mercedes was like, "I hope the rumors are true," and I was just like, what does that
Ricochet
mean,
got into his talking shit about him because I want to have a match with them tweets. And I was
bro?
like, no, I see what's going on here.
Ricochet is another one, bro. That's why I keep saying it's too many matches, dog. It's
Mm-hmm.
too many possibilities here. I think if this was like AJ possibly a few years ago signing with AEW and having like a 2 year stint with him, I would have a hard time believing this. But this is him saying, I'm done with my in ring career, and you've got a chance to go to the company that specializes in high quality in ring action. Nah,
Everybody here studied your tapes. Like all the guys, we all
nah.
studied your tapes, doc.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, bro. Like this, now that the potential for that is there, I can't unsee it. And if we don't get it
Right.
now, I'm gonna be really mad.
That's what, like, I think my expectations were super low coming into this match because I was like, don't get my hopes up. Like, if he's done, be
bro,
done. Don't tease me. But now, Phil, after the
bro.
last three matches he wrestled, I was like, oh, I don't. That was his putting a stamp on his WWE run. This guy's wrestling way too hard and going 1,000 miles per hour to not continue on. Like, that wasn't a farewell, see you guys later. That was a like,
No,
here's this, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks somewhere else.
no. And after the two farewell tours that we saw last year, and John Cena and Tanahashi, he got up for the occasion. He was putting on good matches, but you could still see the wear and tear on his body. AJ still looks great. He still looks like he's in great shape. He still looks like he can put on fire matches. And John Cena was never the great in ring guy. Again, this is AJ's thing, is being a great in ring wrestler. I don't know how you cannot go, hey man, go out there in the Indies or go somewhere else and have the matches. Now, I'm almost mad that it didn't happen last year because we could have gotten a Tanahashi match.
Yes, fucking bullshit. Damn. This is the shit. What do you think it means that it was the second match on this show? Like both the matches you talked about just now were main events. They kind of built the show around it. This show wasn't built around AJ Styles' retirement, you know?
No, but that's also why it was just kind of like, oh, we're just gonna end it here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I might kind of think he was just like, I'm done, you guys. And they were like, what do you mean you're done? And he was like, at Royal Rumble, that's my last match. And they were like, that what? And like, it doesn't feel like everybody was like, let's put together this great
Yeah.
yearly thing like we did with John Cena. It feels like they were like, wait, what's happening? Oh shit, how do we book that?
Yeah, well, on the business side of it, we had been hearing for a while that he was just extending his contract, and he was
Ah,
telling them, okay, well, I'll give you guys another year.
okay.
Reportedly, his contract is set to be up in February, and
Mm.
so that's why, again, I don't know, guys. My percentage is pretty high at this point because this does not feel like his last match of 2026, but it definitely feels like his last WWE match.
I cannot wait for AEW Revolution in Los Angeles because that seems like his contract to be up by then and a great time to bring your boy in.
Yeah, yeah. But besides all of my immediate like hopes and dreams that bubbled up in my head right after this match, this was definitely my favorite match on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. This was a great way to end his WWE career. I think he has a lot of amazing WWE matches. Like, I always think about, I was watching in my car Roman versus AJ, where AJ hits
Yeah.
the phenomenal forearm through the table. Like, I was like, this is like, that's when I first started fucking with Roman. Like, you got to put AJ in on a lot of different things for what he did here, but he ain't done. And what he could do beyond that got me fucking excited. Thinking of like like maybe they all together. It's the Bucks, Kenny, AJ against a crew of people, or it's Bucks and Kenny, it's Bucks and AJ against three people, the Rascals. Like, I'm I'm very excited. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're right. He did have a really good WWE run.
Mhm.
When you consider at one point he had wrestled everywhere but WWE, and it started to feel like this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Went over there and had a year-long run as WWE champion. Um, had the big matches with John Cena. Had the Roman match, like you said. Had an Undertaker match at WrestleMania. Um,
Boneyard.
yeah. I mean, like the Finn Balor match at TLC, and just like he got all of the big moments. I think he's done everything there is for him to do at WWE. Um, he did it. I mean, like I said, this was the spot we thought he would never get to, and he got over there. It was treated as close to a top guy as you're possibly going to get. He was on the front of
Yeah.
video game covers and all these other things. And like I said, this was the way that people thought that Punk was this indie guy that would never make it over there. Some people thought the same thing about AJ Styles, like
Yep.
he was a TNA guy and all these other things, and he made it to the biggest stage and became not just one of the best wrestlers to ever do it, but one of the biggest stars in this industry. And man, you gotta take your hat off to what he achieved over there.
I don't think people realize 10 years ago, dude, like that's a long, like he had already been one of the best wrestlers in the world for 10 plus years, 11 years, 12
Yeah,
years of like being one of the best guys that's not in WWE. And we just thought this is never going to happen. Him and Brian Danielson, low key, there was a group of wrestlers, Homicide, Eddie Kingston, that I'm like, these guys are never going to go to WWE. There's no way they'll be able to be big guys. There's no way they'll be able to have WrestleMania moments. They won't be world champion. And AJ Styles did all that shit. I just started thinking about that. I'm like, I see why he stopped at Royal Rumble though, because some of his WrestleMania things, or I don't, they never really got it completely right with AJ Styles at WrestleMania for some reason, but he had a lot of big moments at least.
yes. Yeah. His WrestleMania resume is very interesting. I still think it's wild that the Shane match is probably his best WrestleMania match.
Right, like that don't even make sense.
But it probably is. But I mean, even when you like, bro, he's wrestled Edge at WrestleMania. He's had like
Mhm.
big moments over there, bro.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Chris Jericho, and so he's done it. He's done all there is to do. I think at this point, there's always been a conversation between him and Brian. We talk about like the greatest of all time. That's why last year when everybody was saying Cena's the greatest of all time, I'm like, he's not my goat. But I feel y'all. Y'all have a good time.
Mhm.
I think at this point, if AJ finishes up this like run with WWE that we thought was improbable at this point, and then goes back out there and has a run with AEW, I think for me, he's gonna be like undeniably the greatest to ever do it.
If he wins the AEW World Championship somehow, Phil, it's gonna like how do you like
Bro,
IWGP champion, WWE champion, AEW champ, like TNA, like
it,
there's how
NWA, the guy has
ROH, like go through the list,
yeah,
dog.
he's been a world champion everywhere he's gone. Like everywhere he's gone, he's been treated like a top guy. Like not everybody gets that.
Since 2002, you guys, like for a long, like he's always been that guy, and like this possibility, I just never thought we could get this. Phil, like thinking of him in the ring again with the fucking Bucks and Kenny is just like, How did we get here? How do we magically get here? I don't know how, but I'm very excited about it. That's it. And again, like Phil said, no reports, no nothing. This is just pure speculation from what we're feeling.
Yeah, 90%, guys. 90%. Oh my God, Batman fan DC,
Yes.
bro. Being able to say trading AJ Styles for Jericho, brother, I will take that trade every day of the week. I will send you. I will try and add in some stuff.
I'm
You take
saying you
them.
get take a fourth round draft pick next year or something. You can have a couple of things going on here. But yeah, I just we got some interest. 2026 is about to be very interesting.
Bro, take them. Take them.
Take them.
The list, everything, Judas, you can take all of it.
You can
Learning
have all
tree,
of it.
all you can have it, bro. Take them.
The list, Judas, learning tree.
All of it. Take them.
Oh man, yeah. Best match of the show though. If you're gonna watch one match from this, that's not gonna piss you off. It's this match.
Yes. To my point earlier, by the way, because somebody was like, look at Ava's last tweet. To my point earlier about her not wanting to be in the mix with certain people and being very outspoken, her last tweet is, and now I can say with my full chest, fuck ICE and this entire administration. I think that says a lot.
Oh, ho ho.
And so if you think this didn't have anything to do with politics, it might have. I don't know.
Ava got into the PC and looked around and was like, we're still just moving. Like, this is regular. Like, nothing's going on. Like, nobody's going to say anything. And if I say something, you guys are going to be mad. I don't know. That's probably not for me.
Yes. Up next, we had Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Championship. I think it's unfortunate coming into this that I didn't feel like Sami could win the match. And
No.
coming into this year, Sami was my pick to win the men's rumble. I thought, like, he's been saying for so long he wants to be a world champion, and he's more popular than he's ever been. He's being booked stronger than he's ever booked. And I still didn't believe he was winning this match, especially with the way that the Drew McIntyre and Cody stuff has gone coming into this show. I just didn't buy into it. But Sami is still very popular with the fans in Saudi Arabia. Got a fantastic reaction, well-deserved. Big Sami fan. And so every time he gets these reactions, I get kind of emotional because he's another one of those guys, ROH guy, El Generico. You thought at one point, okay, yeah, he's gonna get the NXT run because of what NXT means. But like when you think about his career now and like how he factored into the bloodline and the moments he's been a part of now, couldn't be more happy for him. And man, the reaction he got coming out there, I was like, man, I really wish he was gonna win, man, because I do want to get him to get a world title run. But this match was good for what it was. Drew McIntyre is at his best when he can heel it up and be petty. Maybe one of the most petty men in the world, not just for this, but something he did later in the night. But yeah, this match was good for what it was. I thought that Sami looked strong in the match, even though I never believed he could win.
No.
Drew absolutely kicking this man's head off to end the match was crazy. Setting him up, and he's getting ready to get up after a big move, and then he's like, look me right in my eyes, and then Claymore's this guy's head clean off his shoulders. I was like, God damn. All right, match is over. See you guys later.
While he was on the mat, just violent. Yeah, I think there was too many factors as to why I didn't believe that Sami was going to win. One, Drew wasn't ready at all, 0% to lose this championship. I think honestly, Sami might have been better for him as a character to be in the Royal Rumble and get thrown out in that way. I don't really understand what this was, because like obviously they're building towards Drew and Cody in some capacity. So like what's I didn't having Sami as kind of the pawn in the middle of this, I guess, was a little bit confusing to me. But I know that now they just developed this Royal Rumble spot into previously it was Kevin Owens' spot, but now they just moved it on to Sami Zayn as like the big challenger for Royal Rumble is going to be one of those guys just because of what they present and what they could bring to this match. And in this match, feel like there's no point where we really believe Sami can win, but he's so great that he still gets you into the match. He still gets you to bite on near falls. He still gets you to believe in the story. And when he was rallying back and he had Drew in the corner setting up for the haluva kick, and you're like, oh no, Sam Mike could do this. The crowd's into it, and then Drew McIntyre just claymores his head off, and it feels
Yeah.
like it's just hopeless. And then I like that last like kind of kill shot, no pun intended. So shout out to Swerve of hitting that low claymore, and Sammy just folds and he's out, and Drew just pins him like he's the baddest motherfucker in the world. Like I think Drew McIntyre, they're finally making he's finally world champion, and they're making it like he's a dominant world champion, not like a chicken shit world champion. He feels like a world beater, and that was the position he needed to get to. I just don't know if Sammy needed to be the pawn to do that. I think they could have used somebody else because they're still kind of telling a story with Sammy. Now I'm like, where does he go from here, Phil? Like I think like there's still world championship in his future, but like it doesn't seem as the story was going to lay out like a year ago. I kind of felt it would.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I feel like this was a statement win for Drew. Um, but it kind of feels hollow, to be honest with you, because I still don't believe Drew is walking into WrestleMania as champion.
Right.
Um, I still think Cody's going to beat him before WrestleMania. Um, at this
Probably an
point,
elimination chamber.
I still kind of feel like we're heading towards Cody Roman 3. I could be wrong, but that's just how it feels to me. Um, again, that's the unfortunate thing about this matchup is I don't feel like coming out of this match, WWE has long term plans for either of these guys,
No.
and they should. Um,
Yes.
but I just don't feel like that's the case. The big reason I thought Sammy was gonna win the Royal Rumble this year is because he's going to get a reaction to Saudi Arabia, and the company knows that, and so they knew they had to put him in a big spot. And it's like if he's not going to win the Royal Rumble, we still got to put him in a big match here to justify it.
Right.
And they did that, but like I said, it's kind of one of those monkey paw things where I'm happy to see him in this spot, but I want him to get the win too. Though at this point,
Yes.
you've been teasing, and he's been saying for so long he wants to be world champion. I just want him to get the win. And I just never believed that was going to happen. Needed win for Drew McIntyre, but unfortunately, it didn't make me feel any better about plans for him heading into WrestleMania, especially with the way he factored into the Royal Rumble, um, and even the way that he won the championship. It just never felt like this is it. But coming into this show and doing that tournament to lead up to the Fatal 4-Way of Saturday Night Main Event, that was kind of when I knew Sammy wasn't going to be in the Rumble. He was probably just going to have the world title match at this show.
Unfortunate situation, but I think there's a lot that goes into the future for both these guys. Yeah, because kind of the same way I felt as Sammy in this match is how I felt about Drew as the champion. Like I think they're building it up well, but I just don't think it's going to be long enough. Like he's just the gateway to WrestleMania when they get to the big things, and that's a little bit unfair, honestly.
Yeah. Kind of sucks that that's the case, but I thought that this was solid. I thought both of the singles matches here, in between the Royal Rumbles, were some of my favorite stuff on the show.
Good wrestling in both those.
Yeah. Then we got the men's Royal Rumble match. Oh boy.
Immediately, Phil. Immediately, it was all over.
Oh boy. We've been doing this storyline on Raw, getting up to this point where Brian Breaker and Adam Pearce are having their
I forgot
back
about
and
that
forth.
part, too.
Where Braun is doing his back and forth with the authority figure, and the Vision is like having their back and forth with Pierce, and Heyman is pulling strings to get his way. That's how Braun Breaker ended up getting put in this match and because he was initially suspended. Suspension was lifted. Heyman made a phone call, He's back in the Rumble. Division is back in the Rumble. Boy, the way that I feel like some of you guys owe my guy an apology, by the way, because a lot of people are talking crazy about Seth Rollins like they always do. This group is sauceless without my guy. And I'm not going to let you guys lie to me and stop and tell me that it's not. This group is incredibly sauceless without him.
They had that photo where it's like the cameras down there and they're like looking up at him, and I'm like, this is, oh my God, season this up. There is no, you put some Lowry's on this, brother. It is
Bro,
gone.
sauceless without this guy. He's not coming out and giving you the fits. He's not standing out in front as the champion. No. It's completely sauceless without him. So you're building up to Braun coming in this, going against our authority figure, and just the trajectory you've had Braun on. Before we get into why this was terrible, because make no mistake about it, the way Braun was taken out of this match was terrible.
God awful.
You had Braun take out Seth Rollins, world champion, after one of the biggest wins one of the most validating wins for him as a character at Crown Jewel. Takes him off the map, writes him off TV. He comes out the next week holding the world title. He looks cool. He's got the sunglasses on. You've got it. You've heated him up to the point where you've wanted this guy to be since NXT 2.0. Since NXT 2.0, you've been telling us this is going to be his one day. This guy's the next up. He looked every bit the part holding that belt. So I thought, yeah, we're going to get to it.
Too, Phil. The promos that he cut, there was like 2 or 3 that he cut while he was holding that championship where I was like, oh, he got it. He ready.
Yeah, it looked that way. Then we get to Saturday Night Main Event. He's not in the match for the vacant championship. You put the title on Punk. Okay. He heated himself up again with the promos coming into this year, setting up the match on January 5th. And then he loses. Okay. All right. Well, he's going to get a better showing on the Rumble in the Rumble, right? No. Comes out on the way to the ring. First of all, I don't want to leave this part out because Oba had his big entrance coming into this match. Oba looked like a big, massive star, man.
Wow.
Man, you got to push this guy to the moon, bro. Strap the rocket to this guy. He looked incredible. Stood in the middle of that ring, and I was like, this is everything you should want out of a main guy. Bro, you got it in this guy. Braun comes down, Paul Heyman behind him. Gets jumped by.
Bit too. Remember, they spoiled he was going to be number 1 on SmackDown, so they had to go in and do an angle where Adam Pearce says he's actually number 2.
Yes. Yeah, we had to do that, which is crazy. Production flub to start this thing before we even get to the show. Oba looks tremendous, comes out, standing in the middle of the ring, waiting for the next guy to come out. It's Braun. Paul Heyman's behind him. Exactly what you want him to look like. This is like big vibes. Brock Lesnar, next big thing. Heyman behind him. Comes down, gets jumped by a hooded figure. I don't know what this company's obsession with hooded figures is, but boy, I am begging you. Do something else. Please, my God. Do something else. Please. I am begging and pleading with you. Please do something else.
Anything else in the world, Phil? Come up with one other idea how to get somebody out there, how to do something, because this was horrible. Yes. The Royal Rumble drives me crazy sometimes because, what this match should be about is putting somebody over, putting an accolade on somebody who's the future, who doesn't already have the accolades, because it adds something to that. So coming into this match, they're not giving Braun Breaker all the moments that he deserves. At least he'll have this dominant run in the Royal Rumble. He'll establish what his year is going to be, and we'll move forward. Shit, he could potentially win. I don't know. Nobody knows anything. Yeah. He didn't even get to the fucking match, Phil, before they jumped him, and then Oba dumped him out in 2 seconds. I was like, okay, that was... What? Yeah. Why?
So he gets jumped by this hooded figure. Hooded figure is doing Seth Rollins' moveset. Super kicks him, stomps him, pushes him in the ring. Bell rings. He gets eliminated in 12 seconds. Braun Breaker is out of the Royal Rumble. That was a lot of people's pick to win this match. He is out in 12 seconds. Now, before I get into continuing to say why this is bad, we'll get into what I think they're trying to do here. Of course, they want us to think this is Seth because they've done this with Austin Theory earlier this year, where Austin Theory showed up as a hooded figure. He's doing Seth moves. They want us to think that Seth is the big boogeyman that is following Oba around until we get to the match.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I think because this was clearly not Seth. That didn't
No,
look like Seth.
it did not.
Um, I I think this is Pierce. If I had to guess, I think this is Pierce being like, okay, I got reprimanded by somebody higher up. I have no choice because I was wrong, but to put you back in the match. But no way I'm letting you get away with this. Let me go get the hoodie and the mask out of here and get you out of this match. I think this was either that. I've seen people say Logan Paul might have been behind it. Maybe that was Jake Paul in the mask. Maybe the match at WrestleMania is Logan Paul versus Braun Breaker. There are two places this can diverge.
Okay.
All of that is fair and well if you're building stories. But at the same time, this is the guy that took out your world champion last year. This is the guy that you've been telling us is next up for over a year. You couldn't even let him have a strong showing in the Royal Rumble before you took him out. And the crazy thing is, you've done it before. He's been in this
Mm-hmm.
match and looked like a big world beater before. At the point where this guy should be at the place where you're doing it, you wouldn't do it here. You're gonna have him get
Mm-hmm.
thrown out in 12 seconds.
I didn't think it was a good way to start the match for like what Roman had said. That was fresh into my mind as this match started because I was like, maybe Roman is saying this is motivation for all the young guys that are gonna get out here. They're gonna come in and show out. And I was like, if that's any sign of what's to come, I don't feel good about it. Like the guy that's ready for the main event push, the guy that you guys built up from your program to now, and you guys are treating him like this in this match. I didn't like that at all. Again, Oba looked great, and Oba did get to eliminate him, so that does work in his favor.
Yeah. But I felt like this was the biggest indictment on the way that WWE has been developing new and young talent.
Yep.
And if you could come away from anything that Roman was saying and be like, hey, he was right, this was the biggest testament to why he was right. Because out of all of the stuff you've done with Brian Breaker for the last 2 years, it don't feel like we're any closer to making him the guy.
Nope.
It don't feel like, because I mean, look, if this is him versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania, or if it's him versus Seth at WrestleMania, great. But then what?
Mm-hmm.
It don't feel like it's just been so much stop start, so much he had to heat himself back up. How much longer are you gonna do this until nobody cares?
Yep. If you keep
Like,
telling us he's just a dude, a geek that could be beat up in seconds, then they're gonna start to believe that.
and more to the point with what the vision was supposed to be, none of those guys are in a better position now. Like you brought Austin Theory back in this way that was supposed to be a part of the storyline. Nobody cares, dog.
Just a guy.
Austin Theories is not in a better place. Bronson Reed, like I said, pinned Roman Reigns last year. He is not in a better place. Brian
Worse
Breaker,
off.
for everything you've done, like I said, attack Seth, all this stuff you did with him in a program with CM Punk coming in this year, he does not feel like he's in a better place.
Not where he should be. Like I thought he could have potentially gone to WrestleMania as a title match a couple of months ago, or going to having something different. Like the build up to the CM Punk match and how people felt about that, and they could have just fucking executed it and got back to something. Just like they don't have faith in these young guys, and that's not a good sign.
No. I did an article for Bleach Report that went up Friday, and it was like all of the burning questions going into this pay-per-view. And the last question I had was, you're at the precipice at this point as a company where you've got to decide, are you going to build up the next young guy, or are you just going to keep relying on established talent? That is the biggest question coming into this men's rumble, and you answered that question defiantly in 12 seconds that the answer is no, we're not going to build up young guys. We're just going to rely on nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
And that happened throughout this match. I mean,
Sure did.
the way Oba was eliminated showed you the way Javon Evans was eliminated, the way Braun was eliminated. All of those things showed you, nope, we're
Dragunov.
still, yes, we're still relying on old names. And at some point, you have to move on. I know, it's hard to take risks. I know that you've got money, guys, but man, you've got so many guys that are ready to push this company into the future. When you look at guys that could be what Shelton was in these kind of matches, like the highlight reel, what Kofi was in this match, you got that in Javon Evans.
Yep.
Where I hate making this one-to-one comparison, but the closest thing you've got to Brock Lesnar now on this roster is Obafemi.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the next guy that feels like the next top guy, the closest you've got is Braun.
Yeah.
And all of those guys were eliminated by old timers in the match.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it.
Yep. Oba looked the best out of those guys, but Braun getting jumped and thrown out in seconds was horrible. Brock no-selling all of his offense and dumping him out like he's nobody, fucking horrible. Like dumping out Oba and like what is Brock's? He's not the same guy. He doesn't represent what he did. Why is he still acting like this dominant? I can kill all you guys, and then they hold him out. I just don't. For young guys like. Again, Javon Evans was in there for 40 minutes. They put a lot of spotlight on him. The moment where it's Javon, Trick, and Oba in the ring, like, I loved it. Goosebumps. It felt good to see, like, moments like that. But there's still so many things where I was like, grown.
Dog, you know what makes some of that feel hollow? And I hate to do this, but we're going to get into it.
Let's do it.
Obafemi, I thought, looked dominant to start this match. He had 5 eliminations in a row. Came in, got that Braun elimination that we mentioned. Eliminated him in 12 seconds. Eliminated Rusev 32 seconds.
32 seconds?
Rusev was in this match for a cup of coffee, and Oba got him out of here. Solo Sikoa, who has been in main storylines, another one. Oba got him out of here quick and in a hurry. Believe Oba also... Well, I don't have to believe. I can just pull it up. It's right in my face. Oba also eliminated Rey Mysterio, Matt Cardona right off back. 5 straight eliminations for him. Looks great. That was in the first, maybe 3 minutes into the match.
Mm-hmm.
How many eliminations did he rack up after that?
I'm going to say 0.
0.
Yes.
How long was Javon Evans in this match? Let's get this in
40-something minutes, I think.
40 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah.
I believe that would make him the Iron Man of this match, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How many eliminations did he have?
0, I'm going to say, Philip Lindsay.
Yes. This is my issue. It's the half measures. Stop doing these half measures. If you're going to put people over, put them over. Don't do it in this way where it's like, hey, we're doing some stuff, but then when you get the stars that you really prioritize in there, no, can't let him eliminate this guy. He's too high on the pecking order. Oh, can't eliminate this guy. Too high on the pecking order. And that's why I was saying earlier when I said when we get into the men's rumble, the politics at play are so obvious. It's so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can't make this guy look bad because he's too important to what we do. He's too big of a star here. But that's why I'm like, yo, if you're going to give these young guys the spot here and tell us this guy means something, then do it. Don't make this guy the Iron Man and then give him no eliminations. The object of this match is not to last the longest. It's to eliminate people and win the match.
Yeah.
He was in there for a long time, but again, what impressive elimination did he get?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate putting it that way because Javon did look great, and he was one of the most exciting people to see in this match. But I hate that when
his highlight's going to be getting that RKO.
Exactly.
That's his highlight.
I felt like I was crazy because when it was happening, I could predict it. Chill out, Google. Chill out.
Google's like, what you talking
about? I hate that I could predict it when it was happening. When he did the fake out and it looked like he got one up on Randy Orton, I was like, he's still gonna RKO him, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
They're not gonna let him get the full one up over him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same thing with Trick. Trick came out there, bro. That crowd was rocking for him, bro.
Wow,
Rocking.
dude, crazy. They went ham. Whoop that Trick. Everybody, every single person in the arena. That shit was loud.
Bro, rocking for that guy. Same thing, bro. Stop doing these half measures with these guys. You develop them up to a point for a reason. Why are you still putting guys in their 40s and letting them make these guys look like they don't matter because they're bigger stars to you? You got to move on from that crop of stars eventually. Randy Orton got it. He is a multiple time Royal Rumble winner. He's had the moment. He's a multiple world champion. Same thing with Brock. How many times do we have to see him get a one up over the hottest black guy you've got coming up, man? Enough. He had the moments. Move on.
Yeah, it's too much. Like, it seems like a cliche at this point. Like, seeing Oba have all those dominating start, and thinking in the back of your head, Brock Lesnar is going to come and stop this, and then Brock Lesnar comes and stop this. It's like, all right, you guys, like, come on. Why are you doing this to us?
And it annoyed me because I knew it was coming. They did the stare off. They kept having like diverges from the stare off, and I was like, I don't care how many times they delay this. Brock is gonna eliminate this guy, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
We shouldn't be able to predict that, dog. Because again, Brock Lesnar been there. This is the least I've cared about Brock Lesnar in his entire career. We got to move on from this guy. This guy is about to be 50.
Mm-hmm.
We got to move on. It's time.
When Randy was in the Final Four, I was like, why is Randy in the Final Four?
Bro.
It's like, what is this?
Bro, it's just so frustrating, man, because like I said, they had moments in this match where some of these guys looked cool. Like I said, Oba at the beginning of this match, he looked like a world beater. And then after that, he was just a part of the pack again.
Just a guy. Because they got bigger guys.
I just hate that that's the case, man. And again, I don't want to downplay that Oba did look great here. He looked incredibly impressive. But I think that's also what makes it so frustrating because you see they know how to make a guy. If that's the case, then go all in. Then pull the trigger. What you waiting on? We got to get to that moment. But no, in early start to this match, you can see they know how to make a guy. I mean, you saw it last year with Jay. If they want to make a guy, they know how to give the guy the moment when they're ready. But it's just always, they got to wait. And man, it's just so many guys that, bro, how long you gonna wait for Braun? How long you gonna wait? And that's why I keep saying, bro, temper your expectations when it comes to Oba, because I agree, Oba should be there, but dog, I don't feel good about it coming out of this match because, like I said, he looked great. I mean, entrance, he looked great. He looked dominant to start this match. But again, once Brock's in there, we know what's gonna happen, and that has been the case with every Black World Champion for the past decade.
Mm-hmm. If you're Black and you're world champion, you're going to be connected to this. Yeah, what I was saying about entrance music and how fans feel about it was super prevalent in this men's Royal Rumble match. But like, it feels like Jey Uso, as an example, if you have a big entrance, that's almost like 50-60% of your presentation, and that's going to lead you to some big things. Trick Williams, I saw it, dude. He has it. He has the entrance. He has the same markings as Jey Uso. Oba, I saw it. Same markings. When that entrance hit and everybody was hoofing and oving and going ham, like the stuff that you used to say you needed in order to really hit the next level, they already got those things.
Yeah, bro. Trick came out there at number 10, and bro, that guy felt like a star.
Yeah.
But it's bro, you can't keep saying this person feels like a star
and not make him a star.
And not make him a star.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta eventually get to it. You can't keep telling us, well, look, we've built him up. You have. But get to it, dog. What are you waiting for? Especially these young dudes, man. Like, bro, Brian Breaker's 28 years old, dog.
Yeah.
By the time Brock Lesnar was 28, he had already won.
He was already world champion. Yeah.
Like, you'd already got to it with him.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the funniest part. It's like you've done this before with the guy that you got beating everybody up. Like, if you got a prospect, if you got somebody that could hoop. It's even more confusing because like he's legacy, his dad, his uncle, like he has all the tools you think for them to do it, but they just wait. You got to be 35. You got to have gone through all
bro,
these fucking hoops and whistles, and it has to be adversity added onto it. And it's like, what if it's just hot right now and this guy's ready to fucking be champion and let's see how it goes?
dog,
It's
I
frustrating.
gotta,
It felt
I
frustrating.
have, I have to Google this to double check to make sure I'm right. But, dog, Randy was what 24 when they made him world champion.
Yep, I think it was 24 years old.
Brock Lesnar was 25 when he won the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And that's what I'm
25 years
saying.
old.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
And he
You
wasn't
don't have
even
to
in
keep.
WWE for a full year.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to keep waiting. You don't have to keep waiting.
No.
And I know people will be like, "Oh, they'll get here in a few years." What are you waiting for?
Why do we need a few years?
What are you waiting for? Rant aside, I've done ranting and raving. Oba, like I said, looked impressive to start this thing. 5 straight eliminations. We got the Mr. Iguana spot, which I know, that's what the Rumble is for. You're gonna get stuff like this, like the comedy bits in the middle, the breakup spots. I did laugh when Damian Priest chokeslammed Mr. Iguana and the puppet, and then stood over him. That was really funny. The way Mr. Iguana got eliminated as well by Trick Williams was really funny. I thought it fit the spot.
I don't want to be old head, old school guy, but like, what's the point of this match? Is the point to fucking win and go to WrestleMania? Because I felt like there was 90 moments where nobody cared about winning this match, and I was like, "What is this? What are we doing here?"
It was the comedy bits, and I mean that's been a part of Royal Rumble since day one, so I can't necessarily complain too much about it. And this is wrestling. Some of this stuff is fun and entertaining. Where I was not as enthused with the comedy bit because I didn't mind the Mr. Iguana fight. I thought it was funny.
It's chill.
El Grande Americano popped up here.
Oh
Of course,
God.
this is Ludwig, and he had Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne also with him during his entrance. And then they did the big return of Chad Gable as the first Grande Americano. And Chad's been out of action for a long time. He's in fucking fantastic shape, bro. Bro, this guy is
shredded.
And I'm just like, dog.
The crowd didn't get it. First of all, the crowd didn't understand when Chad Gable came out. They were like, "Huh?"
Yeah, for what you've been doing with the Grande stuff, and as long as you've been doing it, this didn't get a reaction from that crowd. And this is prime example of what I mean with Chad Gable. If Chad Gable is so good, man, he's such a great wrestler. Yeah. And he's one of those guys that can do anything you asked of him. The thing that made Kurt is Kurt was really good, but when you asked him to be funny, he was funny. When you asked him to do all these other things where he made people believe in him and all these other things, Chad Gable can do that. When Chad Gable cut that promo last year and was telling you how much it meant to him to be IC champion, what this meant to his family, and he needed this win, you believed him. And this is what you got him doing. Yeah. Why? At this point, the Grande Americano thing has run its course. Move on from that. If you're just going to let Ludwig take it on, let him do that. Why not just let Chad be Chad in this match and have a moment? Why? He could have had the moment of just coming out as Chad Gable and eliminating Grande Americano from this match and just moving forward.
Yep. And then addressed it tomorrow on Raw and been like, "Oh yeah, I came back, but I'm not fucking with that Grande Americano shit." They had him come back, do the exact same thing, exact same mask, exact same gear, and it's like, wait, this guy is a world-class wrestler though. He's not some comedy bit wrestler. What's going on?
Yeah, and then they both eliminated each other. And Ludwig is
like a minute.
Yeah, and Ludwig has gotten so much out of the Grande Americano thing. That's why I kind of feel like it doesn't even benefit you to keep doing it with Chad Gable. At this point, you have 4 guys playing in this gimmick. Why are you like, just let Chad be Chad? I don't understand. Like, we got to see the Creeds this week as well. in a tag match, and I'm just like, bro, just let Chad and the Creeds just have good matches. I don't understand. Like, move on from this with him. I'm just so ready to move on. And every time I see things like this, it reminds me of that Mox quote. I think it's from Talk of Jericho when he says, "The worst thing you can do in that company is let them know you can be funny because that's all
Mm-hmm.
they'll allow you to do."
They got four super talented wrestlers, Phil, under Matt. It's not just like four dudes that they found from developmental. These are four of the best wrestlers that could be that are hidden away for some bits.
I'm man, I'm just ready to move on from this, especially with Chad. If you're gonna do it with Ludwig, like I said, Ludwig has gotten a lot out of this gimmick. Just let Ludwig do it then. Like, just you can move on from it with Chad. Like
Move
you
on.
saddled Chad with so many things at this point. It feels like Owen at this part where you saddle Owen with the blue blazer thing, and it's like you squeezed as much juice as you could out of it. Like, bro, you had this guy doing a Shorty G thing. You got him doing the El
Mm-hmm.
Grande thing. Now, bro, this guy is a great wrestler, dog. Just let him
Yeah.
wrestle. Just let him hoop. I don't understand.
And like thinking back to that match he had with Vikingo before his injury, and like what he still can do. It's not like he's like he got it, dude. What are y'all doing?
Yeah,
Another one, just what we're talking about here, Phil. Young guy that could still, you know what I mean? That should have the opportunity, but they keep fucking beating him down.
exactly. Yeah, this guy, I legitimately felt like he could have beat Gunther
Mm-hmm.
over a year ago, and I feel like he's worse off now.
Right. Definitely.
Uh, yeah. Uh, Cody Rhodes entered the fray. Uh, Cody ended up uh, eliminating Trick Williams. We got the debut of Royce. Very interesting way that they did it. They put the big powerhouse Hobbs on the brick wall and then had the brick wall get smashed down, and Royce Keys is on the screen. I think it was Sean that reported that this is a sentimental move from Royce because Royce is his son's name
Yeah.
and Keys is his mother's maiden name. If you know, you know Hobbs lost his mother tragically. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's a good choice. I think when people get into these are not good names. Like clearly a lot of thought went into the name Royce Keys. And I thought they looked good. I thought that this was a big moment for him. I was telling you when we talked about it how I was almost like, "Oh man, that's major for my guy." Like Jim Ross, we know what Jim Ross represents in wrestling. Jim Ross was a talent scout over there. Jim Ross has seen like the greats. He stamped the greats. And he was this week saying, "Man, if they're not putting Hobbs in a rumble, what are we doing?" I was like, "Man, that's so big for him, bro."
Yeah, it's huge. It's gigantic. Like it's not like he continuously, like through his whole career, has had people like that in that position say things like him. So it's
Yeah.
always been wild. I was shocked, you guys. Like I've heard the rumors and innuendo throughout the week, or since Hobbs says since the stuff with AEW is happening, but you just never know, Phil. Like I think debuting in the Royal Rumble, that's not like a normal thing. Or like they build like if it has happened, they've at least had like some build up, some video packages, something like when Vader debuted in 1996, they were like, Vader's coming to the Royal Rumble. It wasn't like he
Yes.
just debuted, like they let him know. This is if you're a WWE fan that's never seen AEW, you don't know who this guy is. But that's not how wrestling works these days. And WWE knows that people from
Hmm.
WWE know who AEW wrestlers are. So for them to start the whole thing with being like Powerhouse Hobbs, and I'm like, wait, huh? Like for a second, my
Yeah.
brain like could not compute, of course, because there's a lot going on. And then they knock it down, and then Royce Keys is on there, but he still has the same singlet, same presentation. He still looks like Powerhouse Hobbs. So it's like this is a surreal moment for me, of course, because like whoever thought that friend was going to go to WWE and debut in this big way and have this fanfare? Like I said, Phil, people don't debut in the Royal Rumble. A guy that wasn't in their developmental, a guy that has zero connections to this company. He's like nothing to do with this. And for them to be like to the Royal Rumble, that was enough for me. It felt like I was thinking about you talking about the Bears. Like I'm like just him getting the debut and walking out there and looking like a big deal. I didn't give a fuck what was happening after that. Like that was like, this is major, you guys. Like what the fuck? Like my friend has worked so hard to get to this. There's this controversy and all these things about people, how they feel about the end of his run and what he should have did with AEW. They put out stories about he was going to make a lot of money, all this shit. None of this matters. He's here now. He's in this company and he's making his way. He's a new name, still the same guy, still the same stuff. I was sentimental. I felt emotional about all the things because, like, that's my fucking friend, man. And fuck all the rumors and innuendos. He's doing something that he's probably dreamed of since he was a little kid, you know?
Yeah, this guy went from a relative no name, a guy
Yes.
that was on AEW Dark, to a guy on a big, massive stage at Royal Rumble with some of the most famous wrestlers in the world. And he's in the mix with that. I thought that that was a big, cool moment for him. No matter how long he lasted in it, I thought that that was a major moment because people work their entire career to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point about like them using his name from AEW initially, we've been doing the AEW to WWE pipeline for almost 4 years at this point now.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to assume some of the fan base knows who Hobbs is, but it's also a little bit murky because you're in Saudi Arabia. You don't know how tapped in the audience is in Saudi Arabia. So
Right.
when people are like, oh, he got no reaction, I don't think that's necessarily a fair point with like I
No.
said, because this is Saudi Arabia. I don't know how different it would be if this was in a US crowd. It might have been a bit different.
That's how I felt because I was like, I don't know. Like when people are like, he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, I'm like, I don't know if they debut a guy with in his position straight out in the Royal Rumble just because is the fan base going to know him? WWE doesn't work like this, guy. I keep trying to reiterate to you guys. They send people to NXT. We saw Ricky Starks. Didn't Ricky Starks, when he did his debut promo, be like, you guys know me as Ricky Starks or something like that? Like they always kind of
Yeah.
do. Like this isn't like Hobbs reinvented the wheel and fucking broke his name on TV and shit on AEW. That isn't what happened. It was just like, you know, this guy is this guy. Instead of like us showing you 2 weeks, 2 months worth of promo videos, we're just going to tell you who you know him
Yeah.
as and who he's now going to be.
Yeah, and did put him on NXT straight away, put him right in the Rumble. That's big for him. And I don't know what that means straight away. He could end up going to NXT after this, but
No clue.
to come straight in and that's his WWE debut is in the Rumble. Man, good for him. Happy for him. Eliminated Damian Priest. Damian Priest was a world champion, guys.
He was.
He
Hit him with
just
the world's
eliminated
strongest
Damian
plan.
Priest.
That shit look hard. Like I felt like I was like, look, he's in the mix with Cody. They're trying to say he's somebody. Michael Cole did a fake happy thing. Like it all felt like I'm like, okay, they're trying to at least act like my guy's somebody. It wasn't like he came in,
Yeah.
got chumped out, and that was it. I mean, like it's better than being like Rusev and coming in and getting thrown out in 36 seconds. Like there's some
Bro,
places that I wouldn't want to be. I think he looked better than some people that were in this match, you know?
he
Phoenix?
looked bet he looked better than both Phoenix and Rusev in this match to me.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what this is gonna be, Phil. I don't know where this is gonna lead. He could still go to NXT. What I don't know what this is, but I loved it, man. Shout out to my friend, well deserved.
Yeah, and he looked strong on the way out. It took all of the Vision guys to basically get him out.
Come on, you in the mix of Logan Paul? We hate Logan Paul. He's the worst. I
Yeah.
fucking awful. But that means a lot of people, a lot of eyes are on him.
Yeah. Bronson Reed ended up eliminating Royce, but yeah, like I said, I was happy for him, man.
It's gonna take some
we got
time for me to call him Royce. I will tell you that, guys, right now.
Royce to 270 is the move, man.
Royce at 270. I'm dead, dude. But yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Royce, man. L.A. Parker was in the match from AAA. I was surprised we didn't see many AAA guys. I thought this would have been a good spot to have Vikingo in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't here. But L.A. Parker was in this thing for a cup of coffee. Got eliminated by Austin Theory and Bronson Reed. Dragon Lee popped up. Dragon Lee is another one that I'm just really surprised they don't do more work. There are a few luchadors in this match where I'm just like, hey, man, what's going on?
What's
like
going on?
these,
What are y'all doing?
these guys are hoopers, man. And I mean, that gets to the Ray Phoenix thing. Ray Phoenix was here, but you know, He was another one of those guys that was eliminated pretty quickly by Brock Lesnar. Uh, LA Knight got a big reaction, bro.
Whew.
It's so funny because every time LA Knight is on one of these major PLEs like Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank, we always get the it's just gonna be LA Knight's time, and I'm just like, guys, I don't know. And then when you hear the reaction to him, it's like, yeah, why isn't it though? Because the fans clearly want LA Knight to get something, and so I think the best thing that they had for him, and this didn't bode well for the vision again. LA Knight just went straight through all of the Vision guys, not named Logan Paul.
Yeah.
He eliminated Austin Theory, eliminated Bronson Reed. Of course, that played into the way that LA Knight was written off TV a few weeks ago, got tsunamied through that car windshield or whatever. And so he immediately got his revenge, comes in and eliminates Austin Theory, Bronson Reed. But yeah, it just feels like all this stuff you did on Raw to build up Division as a big threat in this match, it just didn't matter. It was you kicked the main guy out within 12 seconds, and then LA Knight just came in and eliminated the rest of the guys by himself.
See, this is what I hate about WWE style booking right here in this moment. The Vision ganged up on the big homie Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys now, and threw him out. And then the next entrance was LA Knight, who ran in and beat them all up. So it's like, wait, hold on. How could they
Yeah.
beat up one guy, but they can't beat up LA Knight? Like, I just didn't really, booking like that always drives me crazy. LA Knight is the most intriguing story, I think, in wrestling, Phil, because like, the company keeps trying to be like, we're chill. We know you guys like this guy, but we're not. We're gonna do kind of the opposite way of putting him over. But the fans keep being like, fuck you. We like LA Knight. We like this guy a lot. We want him to win. When he doesn't win, they're mad. They show their vocal support. Like, so I don't know where he hit or how he did it, but he really has their support. And WWE needs to do something about it. Like he's not stopping. Like it's getting hotter for him still. Like 2 years ago, I was like, maybe it's over for LA Knight. It's not over for LA Knight at all, Phil.
No, people still want this guy to get a big win,
Yeah.
um, and it's just not happening. I don't know why, but it's not happening. This is where we got into the Brock stuff in the match that I wasn't a big fan of. Um, like you said, Ilya Dragunov joined the fray. I thought Ilya Dragunov had a good return last year, winning the U.S. Championship, back in the mix, back having good matches. Brock Lesnar sold absolutely none of this guy's offense. Just kicked him out like he was a nobody. Kicked Ray Phoenix out as well like he was a nobody. And we were getting the
Come
stare
on,
downs
dude.
with Oba and Brock in between this. And I thought at least Oba was going to get a chance to do something cool with Brock, and that didn't even happen. Brock eliminated him in the most uneventful and underwhelming way possible, and that's the thing here. If he had just eliminated Brock like we were all predicting, I would have still been annoyed by it. But they for the stare down and things they didn't even really do anything cool. It was like we cut back and saw Brock eliminating him, and it was just
Yeah.
like, okay, that's the thing that happened, and we're just gonna move on from it. And then I believe that's where Jay came in, right? And they had the
Mm-hmm.
camera on Jay doing his entrance, and so that's how we almost missed Cody and LA Knight having to team up to kick Brock Lesnar out, and that in itself is crazy. That you
Yeah.
you started this match putting over how big of a threat Obafemi was. You have Obafemi get eliminated in a very underwhelming way, and then this is Brock Lesnar that you keep telling us is Brock Lesnar, one of the biggest stars in the history of this company, and then you almost miss his elimination because of a production flub.
Like I was saying, this match was based off of Brock Lesnar for a few years, Phil. It was running through him, and they almost missed his exit here, and it was just like, oh, let's move on to the next thing. There were so many let's just move on to the next
Bro,
things that I just didn't understand in this match. I didn't know what was going on.
yeah, I did not get that at all. But the Jay stuff, you would not have thought watching the last two big multi-man matches that this guy was in that he was a world champion last year. because he's not being treated like a world champion. He's being treated
No.
like a joke character. Like having him
Yes.
continue to repeat his entrance in the middle of this big match, and it's just like, dog, are you trying to win or not? Like, I thought that
Exactly what I was talking about. I'm like, wait, is the point to win the match or is the point to dance? Because like this is not the way.
yeah, I especially with the way he talked about re-entering. He did the promo on Raw where he came out in the crowd and he talked about re-entering. He put up the IG post where he said, "Just so y'all know, get ready to be mad. I'm gonna win again." And then you come out and you're doing all of the same stuff. Run back my entrance. It's like, dog, are you trying to win or not? You eliminated John Cena last year. Like what?
Mm-hmm. You won this last year.
I
Yeah.
thought it made him look I thought it made him look bad as a character, and I thought it made him look silly. And I thought the
Yes.
same thing with the Survivor Series thing. It just made him look silly. And I know it's supposed to be, but the crowd is into his entrance and it's fun. I just think it made him look incompetent as a wrestler,
Yeah. They're turning him into our truth.
bro. I yeah. Miz enters the fray. Roman Reigns eliminates him. Cody Rhodes eliminates LA Knight. Javon Evans eventually gets eliminated by Randy Orton after they have like a back and forth. That I knew Randy Orton was going to get the upper hand in. It's very funny that and kind of telling that after all these years and the stupid spot with Kofi Kingston, I predicted this a mile away that he was going to kick this kid out, and that's exactly what happened. And I was very annoyed with that, and I was just like, just let it go, Phil. But I was very annoyed because I was like, I knew it. I knew when they had any kind of interactions together, he was going to be gone.
Well, I said when Randy was coming out, I was immediately thinking, who could do the big Randy spot? Oh, Javon's in there. It's definitely going to be him.
Yes, yes.
So,
But man, I think it's good that a lot of people really like Javon. People clearly know Javon already. Comes in
he's over too. He got a
and
big pop here.
he got a big pop. People like this kid, but that's why I'm like, do something with him. Then you got it. Do something. It's the same what I was saying with Trick and some of these other guys. You had the showcase of so many black talent in there. You did the um, you did a reference to the NXT match with Javon and Oba and Trick Williams, having all three of them in there. Great. And it got good reactions. People like these guys. So
Mm-hmm.
do something with them. That's all.
Let somebody win something.
Yeah. Don't keep saying, look, these guys are here. These are guys you should care about. Give them the wins too. Because you know how to do it. Like I said, bro, you got to it with Brock very early on. You know how to do it. You don't have to keep pushing it down the road.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes in the mix with all the guys. They started trimming down. This is when we had a lot of guys in the ring. We start trimming them down. Penta entered the mix, ends up getting eliminated by entrant number 30, Gunther. I was very surprised Gunther was entrant number 30, um, which I'll hold off on that. Gunther
Mm-hmm.
was entrant number 30. I think people were expecting something else. I know people were expecting Jericho. I was really surprised Jericho was not in this match.
Me
Um,
too.
with a lot of the talk about him coming into this show, I don't know where Jericho debuts at this point if it's not here, but I still think he's WWE bound.
Definitely. That was probably the most surprising thing because I was when it got to 30, I was like, oh yeah, Jericho, and it wasn't Jericho, and I was like, oh, that's interesting that they brought Gunther out. I kind of like that element, honestly, bringing Gunther out because it's like I know I had a match, but fuck this, I'm trying to get my championship back. Like I did like that part.
Yeah, yeah, and I thought for the most part Gunther was kind of the low key the MVP of this pay per view.
He was.
Like
Mm-hmm.
he was great.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Cody Rhodes still in the mix. Cody Rhodes got eliminated by Drew McIntyre, who was not in the
Yes.
match.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's on the apron trying to fight his way back into the ring, and Drew comes by, Claymores him. He falls off the apron. That's how Cody gets eliminated. But again,
Mm-hmm.
I do think that Cody is going to win his title back before WrestleMania.
Before Mania, for sure. Yeah, he's going in as champion. He has to.
Yes. This is where Roman really took off, racked up 5 eliminations and it
You know it
really
was time by then.
once it became Roman and the rest of the guys in the field, and you look around who else is in the ring, it became very clear Roman was going to win. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Roman Roman at one point had the interaction with Jay where he's like, "Yeah, let's run it back," and then he hits him while he's getting ready to run back his entrance, and again that made Jay look stupid, but again it put over. Roman is always going to be the priority. Roman is always going to be the guy. Yeah, we did
Yep.
our little experiment with Jey Uso last year, but Roman is the guy. Like, if
Even the
it's
way they
you,
were treating Jacob in this match too. Like Jacob kept having moments, and
exactly.
then they're like, "Actually, that's the big dog. You're that Roman's the
Yeah,
star here."
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a few things like don't touch my family, but funny enough, he was the guy that eliminated both Jay and
Uh-huh.
Jacob. Um, and I should say, very happy for Jacob as well. Seeing Jacob on the
Absolutely.
stage, man. Jacob's another guy where I felt like he should have been signed a long time ago. And every time they put him in spots, he feels like a big deal. He knocks it out the park. The fact that people really loved that segment he had with Cody on SmackDown is very telling because I
Mm-hmm.
knew it. If you watched any of his stuff with MLW, you know this guy can talk. You know he is incredibly entertaining. Um, his entrance to Saturday Night Main Event, where he's talking going in the way in, and he's like went from EBT to WWE, and the crowd is reacting to him. The camera's behind him when he's coming out, and they got the fire coming off. I'm like, dog, Jacob is so dope, man. And he had a
Mm-hmm.
pretty good match with Cody at Saturday Night Main Event. It was
He
really
did.
basically a brawl out throughout the arena, but I thought he looked good coming out of it. I thought he looked good entering the match. I thought he felt like he belonged multiple times here, but you know what time it is once he's next to Roman.
Mm,
I would have loved it, by the way, if this somehow built to Jacob versus Roman at WrestleMania.
right?
I just didn't feel like that was the case. It could be
No.
eventually, but yeah, still very big fan of Jacob, man. He's just so happy he's in this position, man.
Yeah, there was a couple of Jacob was another one that hit like Hobbs of like I saw these guys at West Coast Pro in these little places. Jacob's a former West Coast Pro world champion, so like seeing him at the state room in front of 400 people and then now to the heights he's at is just amazing, you guys. Same with Javon, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
saw him in the state room and now he's hit like Javon is new here still, Phil. Like he's still developing who he
very.
is in this company, and he's getting the big Rumble entrance. People care who he is. Like, there's a lot behind him already.
Yeah, very. There are a few guys like that. That's why I'm like, I know what this is supposed to do, and that's why I hate having to nitpick it, so to speak, with like the way Javon was used in this match. I do think it's great that he was the Iron Man in this match, but I do think it's lame that he got no eliminations, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it. But
Yeah.
here's what it is. Roman eliminated Jacob and Jay, as I said, eliminated Logan Paul eventually. Uh, that was our final four. Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Gunther, Roman. And like I said, when you look at that final four, it's very obvious Roman's winning. Um, you got Logan Paul that I don't think that you're going to move forward and do a world title feud with at WrestleMania, at least not yet. Um,
No,
Randy Orton should not be in the final four. I don't
he
care what
shouldn't be
nobody
here.
says. He shouldn't have been in the final four in this match. Gunther just wrestled a match with AJ Styles. I did not
Mm-hmm.
believe he was going to win. I think that would have been kind of a funny shock the world moment of him retiring John Cena and then AJ Styles and then winning the Rumble. That would have been really cool for him, but I
That's what
just
I
didn't
thought.
buy.
I was like, they're setting this up really well for Gunther if he was like to add to
Yeah.
his resume, his accolades. But I'm like, injured limb guy throwing Roman Reigns over the top rope. Good fucking luck, buddy.
I just didn't buy that. It would have been a cool moment for Gunther, but I just didn't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Roman makes his way through all those guys, gets 3 eliminations back to back, eliminates Jacob, Jay, Logan Paul, Randy Orton eventually ends up eliminating Gunther. I'm sorry, gets eliminated by Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then once it's Roman Gunther, I'm like, okay, you've got a guy that is fresh in the match. I think Roman entered at like 26,
Yeah, he
and
was
you've
pretty
got a
low.
guy that yeah, and he's still fresh in the match, and you've got a guy that wrestled a full match. Roman's gonna win. Roman eliminates Gunther. Roman is the 2026 Royal Rumble winner. Um, the irony of him saying all those things on McAfee and saying all those things about creative, and then he comes straight in here, wins this thing. Pretty funny. I've said since last year, and this just cements what I think. Roman Reigns will be champion by the end of this year, guys. It's
By the,
happening
I'm
by
surprised.
April, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure he's gonna win it back at Mania. Like, there's no
Yeah,
way he's gonna talk all that shit, win the Royal Rumble, then not win it. Like, I think he
yeah.
just exactly as he said in that interview, he sat back, let y'all guys have fun, saw what the landscape of this was, and was like, "Fuck all this, give me mine's back," and he's coming to get his back.
Roman will be champion by April at the very least.
Yeah.
He will be champion by the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even say that I was mad at Roman winning because at that point I knew it was coming. Once Braun
Yeah.
got eliminated the way he did, I knew Roman was winning. And I have been saying it throughout this week. I kind of have a feeling Roman's winning, guys. And then, like I said,
He
a minute
won.
into the match, I was like, yep, it's Roman time. You know what time it is. It's Tribal Chief time, like he said in the Pat McAfee interview. We're a long way, by the way, from Roman Reigns in 2015 winning his first Rumble, getting the very awkward Royal Rumble win. That crowd was booing him out of the building, Rock lifting his hand, endorsing him, and he's just like, what did I do? What did I step into? Very
Mm-hmm.
hilarious time to go from that to this guy being one of the most over guys in wrestling. And say what you want, him winning and like all of the people in the crowd with their ones up, even afterwards when they were doing a post show, all of the ones in the crowd. Big star. We already know that. Again, main
Absolutely.
evented, six Royal Rumble, six WrestleManias in a row. I just think the most damning thing about this is he didn't need this to main event WrestleMania. He's gonna main event WrestleMania anyway. To that point, last year's Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso opened the show. Roman Reigns main evented.
This just Royal Rumble seems like an easy accolade to add to somebody. The
Yeah.
one person in here that don't need this fucking accolade, they gave the accolade to.
The one of the telltale signs before the match started that was like, oh yeah, Roman's winning. When they kept putting up the graphic of like, oh, all of these guys are two-time Royal Rumble winners. They put over the greatest Royal Rumble competitor ever, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's won 3, and I was like, the guy coming into this match that has not won 2 Royal Rumbles yet, Roman Reigns. And I was like, it's happening, guys. It's happening. And they kept trying to do the can Cody win 3? Can he be in the same conversation as Stone Cold? I was like, oh no. I
No.
see the undertone of this. The undertone is Roman is gonna be among all of the guys that won 2.
And he did it. And that crowd, every elimination field, they were letting you know that they love them some Roman Reigns. That's all they care about. As soon as he
Yeah,
would throw somebody out, they were like, yes, fuck yeah, we love Roman.
yeah, and that's why I'm like, look, Roman is, regardless if Roman did not win, Roman is going to main event
He's
WrestleMania
certified.
42.
Mhm.
We already knew that, um, but and that's why I'm just kind of like, it kind of sucks that it feels like it doesn't matter what happens during the year. This guy can do sporadic appearances throughout the year, go away and come back, and regardless, the result is going to be the same. He's still going to be the centerpiece of WrestleMania. I don't care what you've done with the Vision up to this point. I don't care what you've done with Braun. I don't care
Don't
what
matter.
Oba's been doing on NXT. None of that matters. When we get to the show of shows, this guy is still going to be the centerpiece. And again, I get it for what this guy has been for this company. Big time draw. I just hate that it just feels like the world title picture and the main event scene at WrestleMania at the moment feels impenetrable if you're a new guy.
They compare a lot of people to a certain guy that was politicking and doing things. There's only one guy that's moving like that of I could be gone the whole year, but I'm still gonna be in the main event. Terry did that a bunch of times. Like, hey, I'm not gonna be here, but when it's main event time, bet you I'll be there. And like they
Yeah.
call a lot of people Hogan and stuff, but there's some people that really be using it. And like, I'm not mad at him. He earned this position, dog. Like the company has told him this is all yours. We're running through you, and like if you want to do that, then they let him do that. I'm not mad at them for letting him do that. but we have to try to put some other guys over. If this is Cody and Roman 3, Phil, like what is that doing?
Yeah. I will say the thing that makes it hard to put him in the Hogan category is Hogan was consistently from a certain point on always at the top. Yeah, they
Yeah.
always put Roman in a certain category where you knew he was their guy. Um, they also gave him a lot of terrible booking. Like
They
when you
sure
think
did.
about like that SmackDown run with like the dog food and how bad that stuff was, that Corbin feud, and like some of the other stuff they were giving him, suffering succotash and all this other stuff. He had to go through a lot to get here to be
Mhm.
finally accepted like this way, like he is by the fan base, and to have like the 4 year run that he did. He had to go through a lot. He had to eat a lot of shit to go there. And
Yeah.
so it's hard to just be like, oh, he's Hogan, because Hogan wasn't humiliated in some of the ways that this guy. And then when you think of like
He
his
wouldn't let him.
real, yeah, when you think about like some of his real life stuff and like the leukemia scare and him having to go away and come back, that is a legitimately inspirational thing that he went back and then came back as one of the hottest heels in wrestling. Um,
Absolutely.
it's just I just want to see something new.
Something
That's all.
different. Like even
Just
him in
something new.
something different. That's it. Like I
Yeah,
okay, he
that's
wins,
also the
Phil.
point. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like he wins, he's going to WrestleMania. All right, we that's inevitable. At least put him in a new situation when he's get there, and it
yeah,
doesn't feel like they're going to.
yeah. That's also a point as well. I just want to see Roman do something else. You don't have to have him so attached to the world title picture. And even if you are going to have him attached to the world title picture, man, just do something else with him other than the same style of booking, the same kind of storylines. I mean, you had something at least interesting going with Jay and him last year. You planted the seeds for it, and then it went nowhere. It seemed like you were going a direction with him and the vision and stuff. And unfortunately, Seth got injured, so you couldn't play that stuff all the way out. But man, just do something else with him. That's all.
Roman wins again, you guys.
So that of course raises the question: where are we going from here? Because of course he has history with Drew McIntyre. That could be the match at WrestleMania. I don't buy that. It could be
Can't
Drew
see it.
Roman. Um, I still believe there's a strong chance it's going to be Cody Roman because I still think Cody's going to win his championship before WrestleMania. He might win it back at Elimination Chamber. Um, the match that you could do that is blockbuster that has all of the history and lore behind it is Roman Punk. That should be a direction. Are you going to get into the inside baseball stuff with him and Punk? There's so many things you can do with that. Yeah,
I think that's the
I
most
think if you
intriguing story because they're going to be calling each other hypocrites on the way up, and it's going to be good television. But I don't know if they want to do all that. You know?
they could, and I'm sure Roman has been waiting to get a bunch of shit off in promos
Yes.
with him, and this is the best he's ever been as a promo. He can
He can
actually
keep up.
hang in a segment with Punk now. You can get some really good segments out of that.